10 things only OGs remember. Number 1. Gardener's game-breaking toolbox. Emma's toolbox was 3 years back then, the most broken item ever. The principle of the toolbox was the same like we have today, but with one difference. Chairs that were destroyed by the toolbox couldn't be repaired by the hunter manually. The hunter had to carry abnormal to be able to repair them. The speed of destroying chairs also increased for every destroyed chair, and during the destroying process skill checks would also appear. Number 2. Ripper's wallhack ability. Ripper had a long time ago a ability called Foggy Night. The ability created a big fog area where the survivors are located, and disappears soon after a survivor left it. Ripper could turn inside that area much faster and visible. He had also in that area his foggy blade all the time ready. Outside of the fog area the foggy blade was completely locked off. Number 3. OneShot Hunter persona. Doomshock, or also called Fallen Misfortune, was an old hunter persona. Fallen Misfortune would activate after a survivor was chaired, and the hunter were 18 meters away from it. The hunter had based on the persona level a chance to deal double damage after hitting a survivor. Survivors could see if the hunter has equipped it by looking at his eyes. The eyes would appear yellow if the persona is activated. Number 4. Geishas tapping simulator. In the old days Geisha didn't have the ability to place butterflies. Geisha could only dash directly to survivors that were in her sight range. Survivors who were chased by Geisha could easily cancel her dash by simply tapping the stare button. Soul departure was also a lot weaker than it is now. It took a total of 3 seconds to change the position from below to the top or top to below. Back then Michiko was the strongest hunter in low rank and the weakest in high rank. Number 5. Scary rocket chairs. 2 years ago Identity V had actual scary chairs. The chairs had ropes that were put over the survivor after they got placed on the chair. The hunter animation of placing a survivor on the chair was perfectly animated, so that the rope also fitted to it. Survivors on the chair also had a different animation where they tried to tear the rope up by wiggling hard. The survivors sounded at that time scared and not like now. The reason why these chairs were remodeled was that some kids actually did this in real life. They tied other kids up and left them there to be rescued. Number 6. Spider Monster. Violetta was back in Season 1 the most broken hunter that existed. Soul Weaver could place anywhere her webs where she wanted as long the web bar wouldn't fall to 0. The weeby shots applied to the survivors slow effects but dealt no damage. The slow effects of the webs didn't disappear when the survivor received damage, and that made Violetta very dangerous. Her speed boost from the webs were also a lot higher than now. Number 7. The Windows Factory. In the early seasons of Identity V the game were hunter-sided. But that changed after some years. Many maps back then were made with broken kiting spots to support the survivor against the hunter. After many new characters and adjustments it turned out that the survivors were dealing too well with the hunters, and these kiting spots would kite a hunter for a very long time. So they got rid of all the many windows and overpowered kiting routes and replaced them with pallets or other stuff that would help to balance the kiting spot. Number 8. Non-catchable Fiona. Fiona had the most debuffs out of every character. The mechanics of her portal have been changed so many times over the years. At her first release time the global portal didn't exist. Traveling trough the portal took some few seconds. When the portal was destroyed during that process, the survivor would get sent back to the start and would receive a stun. Months later traveling trough the portal became very fast, but to balance her, she received debuffs in every way. Fiona was now at a spot where she broke the game. She could teleport anywhere fast without the hunter catching up to her. Another nerf was thrown out a month later. Her portals could be created a maximum of 10 times in one match. This nerf also rarely touched her. So the devs made an adjustment that allowed hunters to enter the portal, but in exchange the portal limit was removed. Later Priestess received a global portal that were also buffed and nerfed many times. Number 9. The first limited skin. The skin Hermes shoes was the first ever limited skin that were available to buy in Identity V. The skin was released on July 11, 2018. So basically 5 days after global release of Identity V. Forward skin and accessory could be only bought with echoes. Number 10. Chidinade. Mercenary was back in Season 1, a normal survivor with 6 elbow pads and a 30% decoding debuff with no delayed damage. He was used in those days more like a kiter instead of a rescuer. He was really uncatchable with his 6 elbow pads. But that changed. The devs wanted him in the spot of a rescuer, so they took some elbow pads and created a ability that would delay the damage what Mercenary receives. Alright, that's it. Wait, you really thought the video is over now? And you could leave? Haha, good joke. No, you're trapped here forever until. Number 11. Helenas Vision. Unlike now, mind's eye were many years ago actually blind, not just colorblind. C wasn't able to see any objects clearly that were 5 meters away from her, except the hunter, ciphers and pallets of course. At that state of the game, Helena wasn't really considered strong, since she was a all-in character. So the devs decided after some time, to make her more a average decoder character, by giving her a new vision, that we have right now in the game. In my opinion, they should have kept the old vision, since this made Helena unique, but oh well, it is what it is. So we are finally at the end of the trip. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you want to see a part 2.